All right, now let's wrap up Mothers Raising Sons with the mothersraisingsons.com programs. I'm Scot Conway, Ph.D. JD, since I know we're recording this in segments, just in case you came just to this segment. And I appreciate your indulgence in the repetition. So for those of you who are here live, thank you. Now, what do we do at Mothers Raising Sons? I mean, doesn't this sound like there's a lot of information? I mean, in 2 hours, you probably already got enough information to define your problem more clearly, maybe to put a vocabulary to how you've been feeling, and you really weren't sure how to express it. And to understand the problem, to understand the solution, where are we trying to get? What is our ideal? What are we actually reaching for? And then how do we get from here to there? What do we need? We talked about a model, which isn't just a role model. A role model is great if you've got one, but to have a model, to have a definition of exactly what you mean. And to develop the wisdom and to develop the knowledge, drawing out that wisdom, being able to put words to it so you can pass it on to our children. To have personal transformation and then to unleash yourself into this. Now, when we're doing an in-depth intensive, when we're really getting work done, how do we do that? Well, one of the ways that we do it is what we call a deep heart VIP transformation. A deep heart VIP transformation. Now, the Deep Heart VIP Transformation is a 1-week intensive. Now, I try to do these in the summertime. Kind of the idea that I have is that in the summertime, it's a lot easier to find a place for your kid to be for a week. I mean, maybe grandparents, maybe the other parent, maybe a friend. But, during the school year, it's a little harder to find someplace else for the kid to be. And sometimes, if at least your kids are anything like my kids, being around to help with homework and occasionally to do a little bit of prodding or questioning to make sure that it's actually getting done is helpful. And of course, getting to school and from school and all the other things that need to be arranged. That doing it in the summertime is a lot easier to be able to get away and to have a place that your children can go. And of course, by the way, incidentally, for the Deep Heart VIP Transformation Retreats, you can bring your kids with you, because what we do as part of the package is you get a 1-bedroom condo. And because you get a 1-bedroom condo with your own kitchen, you can get whatever food you need. And so if you want to have your kids there, whatever food they need, whatever food you need, if there's any special dietary restrictions, you're getting your own food. You have your own kitchen. You can prep your own meals. So whatever your particular needs are, you can handle. And we're there for a week. 5 of the days have training that takes place. And then you have the days on either side that you can kind of integrate. You can do other stuff. And of course, there's time to do things together and to meet the other moms and connect with other families and with me too. But this is part of what we do. This is part of the VIP transformation part. 2 hours a day is just the VIP group. So that's 10 extra hours of group training. And the focus here is on transformation. So we talked about how most really wise mothers understand that my perception of men is going to affect my children. It's going to affect my boys in particular. Because if they keep hearing me talk about men a certain way, because I've been burned by men in the past, men have done bad things to me, and some of this is going to bounce back to the kids. Even if I'm talking about like their father, if their father burned me bad, and this can bounce off of me and reflect in my boy. Trying to catch myself, and how do I do this, and how do I transform some of these ideas in my life if I've been man-burned before? But it's not just all it's about. What other stuff do I have that I need to let go, I need to overcome, that I need to develop the ability not to be thick-skinned, because we talked about the model of masculinity and femininity, that inviting energy. It's a little hard to be armored up and be inviting. I mean, just think of me as a man. If I'm wearing my suit of armor, hey, come here and give me a hug, and you think that's going to be kind of cold. It's not just about being thick-skinned, but how you develop the skill set so you can still connect, but you can handle the stuff that can be painful, the stuff that can be stressful, the stuff that can be aggravating. How do you do that? And there's a model to do that. Now, some of these things are the subject of my books, and so I have 7 books out there, and several of them are on point to what we're doing right now. And so we apply some of these techniques. And a lot of the stuff we do in groups, and we not only teach the technique and its application. I don't go into a ton of instructional detail because you have audio programs for that and you have books for that. So you can get as much detail as you want. We actually walk it through with expert leadership, being able to make the distinctions person to person, because the Deep Heart VIP groups, I take about 4 people at a time through the VIP level, because each one involves a private 2-hour session in addition to the 10 extra hours of VIP training. And so we're doing some very deep work. We're doing some very transformational work. We're doing sometimes some deeply emotional work. But even then, sometimes people have things that even in the small group of people, as we develop these understandings, there's still some very private things that you don't want talked about with the group. Some things that maybe you're ashamed of, maybe that you did, maybe that you felt about what was done to you, and that you just like to keep it private. Sometimes it's not even so much that it's private, but it's so specific to your life that it might be something you feel isn't of general use to everyone else. Or you want to make some other transformation. You really want to get in touch with yourself in a powerful, intimate way to really be able to love yourself in a healthy way, because you understand that in order to truly love others, you need to love yourself. And we work that in the transformation time. And however you would like to apply your private 2 hours, you have a chance to make that transformation. And by the way, if you brought your kids, that private 2 hours, if you would like to have that session given to one of your own children, or you have someone else you would like to give that to, you can do that too. And normally a private 2-hour session, face-to-face with me is enormously expensive. I mean, you get a 1-hour session with me virtually, and it's $750 to be, can be that much. And so you're giving away like $1,000, $1,500 session here. And you may want to do something even more directly practical with that. If you have a specific food allergy, and you say, I've had this food allergy and I'm sick of it. I had this phobia and I'm sick of it. And you can invest the 2 hours, and we'll, turn off your phobia, or we'll turn off your food allergy for you, and then, we'll test it. Actually, when you go grocery shopping, buy something of what you're normally allergic to. Now, nothing that's going to put you in an anaphylactic shock. We're not taking a medical risk here, but normally you break out in hives, or have a bad reaction to it. But it's not medically dangerous. We'll shut it off for you, and then we'll test it so you can see right away that this worked and that this is powerful. So that's a Deep Heart VIP transformation. Now we have a Deep Heart Retreat Intensive. Now this is what everyone goes through. It's the same week. So the VIP gets the extra 10 hours. The Deep Heart Retreat Intensive is 20 hours of training. And we do 8 of the hours on day 1. We do 4 hours a day on 3 other days. And we try to have an integration day in the middle to kind of process all of it. And we still do the VIP work on that day. And so it's a lot of deep, intensive work. And during the Deep Heart Retreat Intensive, it's partly retreat to give you a chance to just kind of let go and relax and recharge and get rejuvenated. And it's a lot of serious training, 20 hours of training that goes beyond the scope of the audios and the books. And we cover a lot of these things in practical ways. We focus on application. And we do that in a 1-week retreat where you have your 1-bedroom condo for the week, and then we come meet in a larger room, sometimes in a penthouse condo or something. It kind of depends upon exactly how many people we have. Now for the Deep Heart Retreat Intensive, I'll usually go no more than 10 or 12 people, because we want to be able to connect and have interaction. Because it's a retreat and an intensive, but the retreat part, we want people to be able to build relationship, and it's harder to build relationship if there's too many people. So everybody gets to know each other, and typically no more than 4 will be in the VIP level. And even if there's just one person on the VIP level, I'll do it because it's that powerful. And I don't want to deny anybody the VIP level transformation when they have the opportunity to do that. So when I have the opportunity, that is my favorite way to do it, is to really dig in deep. And along with that, you literally get thousands of dollars of additional program material. More than a year's worth of ongoing training and ongoing education. Now, these are expensive retreats. I mean, we're spending a whole week. It's a small group, so I'm not doing a great big huge seminar. And a great big huge seminar, it can be inexpensive, because if you have enough numbers there, enough numbers will kind of compensate for the need for the intimacy and the price. But there's only so much you can do in a big room, because we're doing some really deep heart work. I mean, that's why it's called a Deep Heart Retreat. And this deep heart, getting into that deepest heart of parenting, to really make these changes, to really make this transformation, to really just get the insights and the wisdom and the knowledge just deep in your heart, and to like pull out the junk and put good stuff in there, requires a small group. It's hard to do that in a group of 100 people. Now, in a different level, if that's too much, then I also do a 4+2 coaching pack and a 4-pack coaching. Now, the 4 part of the 4-pack coaching, it's virtual coaching. I tend to use Google Hangouts, and I'll have normally not more than 8 people in a coaching group. And you know, if there's a coaching group only has 1 or 2 people show up, and the others just want to watch the video, that's fine too. And then you get some personalized attention there. But the 4-pack of coaching means that it's me live, but it's virtual. And so we could have, you know, moms literally from anywhere in the world joining us on our Google Hangout, and we'll have a 1-hour coaching session. We'll do that 4 times. Now, admittedly, I'm a little bit flexible on what I call an hour. That sometimes an hour really is the 55, 60 minutes. Sometimes an hour can be an hour and a half. If someone has a really important question and we're really diving deep and we're having a good, powerful conversation, you know, I'll go longer, because getting the job done is more important than like cutting it off at the time. The 4+2 coaching pack includes 2 of them that are just one-on-one. And so we'll still meet either by, you know, Skype or Google Hangout, or even on the phone if you prefer just the audio without the video. And we do a session of just you. And the 4+2 coaching pack and the 4-pack coaching are both also available through the website. Now, that's also fairly expensive. Not nearly as expensive as the retreat, but it can be very expensive. So that's 4+2 coaching pack and 4-pack coaching. Now, here's the one that most people would start at. It's called Member Mom. Being a Member Mom at the mothersraisingsons.com membership site. You get books, you get audio programs, you get video lessons, and more. That just in the downloads, I mean, even with no other content, just the downloads, you're getting the lowest month gives you $100 of downloads. And the reason that one's so low is because the following month is a $500 download. Typically, you're looking at downloads around the $225 to $300 range, and you're getting it for a $27 a month membership as of right now. That price might go up to $37 a month later on. Right now, it's $27 a month. So now think about that. You're getting literally more than 10 times the value in materials being given to you. And this isn't just some inflated price that was just put up there to make the price comparison. I mean, things have been up on websites for sale at these prices for years in some of the cases. So it isn't just that, like, oh, well, you know, the old $47 program, let's just mark it up now so we can say it's valuable. No, this has been up on websites available for people to buy and download for years at these prices. And then I haven't raised my prices, didn't lower them either. But that's the value that you're getting, just in the downloads. But in addition to that, you get parent coaching. So bits and pieces, sometimes with 5 or 10 minute lessons, sometimes in longer lessons, in 20 or 30 minute lessons. Every once in a while, you know, some subject will have just a string of things, and sometimes it's just too intimately connected, and I might consider doing like a 1-hour lesson on something. The videos of some of our more public events are also often made available in the parent coaching portion of it. These videos and these audios will also be available in there. And a lot of the archives of the blogs. So I do mostly video blogs, and so that's 5 to 10 minutes typically in a lesson. There might be a series of lessons. Like when I did a series on prom parenting, some of the issues that some of my clients have inquired of me coming into prom. And I did a series of 10 lessons, and we were teaching on prom. And I've done a series of 10 lessons dealing with a video trailer that was going around for a while, and then it's still out there, called The Mask You Live In. And so I'll do these series of videos, and they show up typically one at a time in a series on the blog. And then eventually, though, we take them down and we archive them in the parent coaching section. And so for $27 a month, you have access to that. You get relationship coaching. Now, this is huge. Just the relationship coaching site would be well worth the membership. Just the downloads I make available for the relationship coaching would be powerful. A couple of them that I lead off with fairly early in your membership is we talked about what's called YORI, the YORI Relationship Trust Matrix. And again, it systemizes, creates a model for relationships to help you understand how relationships work, and gives you a vocabulary and a system to look at it and diagnose what is going on. So instead of trying to have a generic discussion about relationships, I can have a very specific discussion about a specific issue in the relationship. Now tell me, as a woman, would it be helpful to be able to be laser focused for your man so that it's not a generic, we need to talk about our relationship, but it's a much more specific of, you know, honey, could you do this one specific thing for me a little bit differently than you've been doing it, please? Would that probably get you a better result? Would that probably let you have a better relationship? What if you understood so many of these things that's part of this matrix, and you could start looking down that list and saying, okay, all right, there's where the issue is. I can circle that and let me go right there. That when you're having a discussion with an average male, that they don't have quite the same level of depth and resonance and that kind of interconnected mosaic thinking about relationships. And it really, really helps men if you can be more laser focused and hit that one channel for them. And that's in there too. Also another program that I do, and this is focused, it's intended for seriously committed couples, and I talk about it as husbands and wives is kind of the assumption in there, literally called Awesome Sex. And there's two sides of it. One is how important the sex is to the relationship, and one how important the relationship is to the sex. And so depending how you want to apply it, it can sometimes be looked at as a relationship program disguised as a sex program, or a sex program talking about the importance of the relationship, and both sides get covered in there too. And so some of these things are available just on the relationship side, and I'll also be posting extra videos and blogs and stuff as they get archived in there just for relationships. And then I mentioned I'm a lawyer. Specifically, I've been a business lawyer and an executive business coach and business trainer. And I've traveled here and there and done stuff, not just here in San Diego. I've been sent up to Los Angeles, Las Vegas. I just got back from Chicago most recently, doing business coaching. So there's also a section for career and business coaching, for women who have businesses and women who are pursuing careers. And so that's available to you as well. And so all of these resources in there at $27 a month for member moms. And you just go to mothersraisingsons.com, go to the member mom section. You can take a look across the top bar and you can see all of the menu items that are available to the members, and just sign up there. Now if you just want to check out a handful of lessons, if this hasn't been enough, there's a 7 for 7. Where for $7 you can get 7 key lessons, but at this point if you've watched the 2-hour version, or you've been here for the 2-hour version, you probably don't need that. And just jump right into the $27. And you can stop anytime you want, but part of it includes over a year of ongoing training and education. It lets me be your mentor and your coach, with you in your car, with you while you're cleaning house. Whatever it is you're doing, you can put the audios on, play them in your car, play them on your computer while you're doing other stuff, and just listen and learn. And let me coach you. And if all this stuff sounds amazingly powerful and you really wish that you could do this, I mean, if you're a parenting coach, if you want to be able to do some of these talks, you want to be able to do some of these seminars, you really want to take this stuff and you want to do what I do, you want to be qualified to do what I do, we also have a certification program. And the certification level 1, typically I like to follow right after a Deep Heart VIP transformation time. If you're doing certification, I suggest you be through the Deep Heart retreat, you be through the Deep Heart VIP transformation yourself, and for the level 1 certification, then you have an additional 40 hours of training. Now some people might want to do the certification level training just to get the training, to get that extra 40 hours of training and all of the materials that go with that. And for someone who would like that and wants to invest in that, that's a pretty significant investment of both money and time. If you're interested in that, just talk to me about it. But that is also available. And then there's different levels. There's a 16-day intensive training that actually a friend of mine does to teach you a whole bunch of the tools, because honestly 16 days is a bit long for me to teach what he teaches, and he already does a beautiful job of it. And so when you add his material on top of my material, And then you can see the power of it, and then you really get to the level where now you can do some pretty amazing things at the level 2 certification. And of course, there's a significant investment involved in that too, and that builds on the level 1, which of course builds on the VIP transformation, which is a step up from the D-Part Retreat Intensive. And so all of this is available. But the basic membership is to be a member mom, and to get the parent coaching, to get the relationship coaching, to get the career and business coaching, to get the books, to get the audios, to get the video lessons and more, and to have access to all of this through the website, through the membership site for only $27 a month. And the value you get just in that first year, if I did nothing but give the downloads, I did nothing but give the audios and the books, and I added no new content ever to the Member Mom site, and you stayed a member for 10 years, you still would not have paid full retail for just the downloads you get in the first year and change. And we're doing some really powerful stuff month by month as we go. So it's huge. So that's membersraisingsons.com. I'm Dr. Scot Conway, and that is what we have at the membersraisingsons.com website. Look forward to having you all as member moms. I'm going to be available afterwards if anyone has any questions. And I do hope that the value of what you've learned has been enormous. How many people gain some value by at least finding vocabulary to describe some of the problem we're feeling in the first section of getting into the problem? Excellent. How many people in the solution part got some thoughts or ideas in the solution part that you think integrating this with what I'm doing or going into this as a parent could be helpful? I could see how this would help moms. Very good. How many people in the solution have found that, yes, a model would be helpful? That would help. Yes, a clear model. Wisdom and knowledge. Personal transformation. How many people find, as often as not, we get in our own way, and personal transformation at some level could be helpful. And many of us do personal transformation. In fact, sometimes a simpler thing is the slow transformation is just growing up. But personal change helps us lead other people. Excellent. And how many people see that these events I've talked about also have value? Whether you go or not isn't actually the question, but you see that they would have value. If someone went, they would definitely get value out of it. Very good. So I'm Scot Conway, membersraisingsons.com, and I will be available afterwards to answer anyone's questions, and we have additional materials available for you, and by all means feel free to email me at Scot, S-C-O-T, just one T on Scot, so S-C-O-T, at mothersraisingsons.com. Scot, S-C-O-T, at mothersraisingsons.com. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, as I said, I'm available afterwards.